What I'm doing today should be something that's fairly quick and simple to do. I have started to use an external library, and here it is on my external drive, Trip Libraries, Cuba, and this is the LRCat library that I'm viewing right now. And now I want to import them back into my main library. So I've got this Cuba Lightroom catalog that I want to now import into my intentionally lost master library of all of the photos that I'm working on from all of my travels. So there's a very easy way to do that, and this should be super simple for anybody and everybody out there. I've got more photos than I thought I did in this library. I've got 4,629 photos. But let's see, let's close this library, and I'm going to open up intentionally lost library. And this is the library that I want to import this Cuba Lightroom catalog into. So I have opened my main intentionally lost library. This is where I import everything into from my travels that I'm working on. So when I'm in my main intentionally lost library here, I simply go to, let's see, this is the first time I've done this, so I'm sure it's going to work. Import from another catalog, and I'm going to navigate to where that is, and it's in my external drive, Trip Libraries, Cuba LRCat. So all I need to do is import this LRCat file. Choose. It's going to give me another dialog here to ask me if I want to copy or move the files, basically the same as if I'm importing them from an SD card, right? So all of these folders I do want to add. I want to copy them to a new location and import, because they are currently on a separate external drive from my main library. So in this case, I want to copy them and move them to a new location. However, in this case, this root folder where it's looking for my library is not correct. I do not want to import them into this folder. So I'm going to select exactly where I want to move them to, which is my main intentionally lost library in 2016, and that will put them in the right place when I import them. So now I'm going to move all of these folders from my Cuba trip into intentionally lost 2016. So all of what is currently in this folder externally is going to get imported into Passport Studio intentionally lost 2016, and it's going to show up right here. So let's go ahead and activate that and make sure that it happens just like I want it to. Okay, it's now the next day. I let that job run, and it took almost 4 hours to import all of those, copy all of those photos over into my working library. So here's what happened. I have been, go back to the main folder. This is the travel drive, inbound from external sources. This is where I dump all of the photos while I'm out shooting. And then while I was shooting, I went through and reviewed those photos immediately after I put them into my Cuba travel library. And that's what this date here means. The date after the file name means that that's when I last reviewed that folder and picked photos that I was going to work on from that folder. So the reason that I flagged these folders with the last time that I reviewed them, I find it helpful to go back and review these folders and photos long after I've shot them. After you have had some detachment from the subject and you go back through the photos, a lot of times you'll see things that you didn't when you very first took it. So you took 300 photos when you're out walking around for the day, put them into Lightroom, and you think right off the bat you have favorite photos, right? You talked to somebody, you were in a situation, you thought, wow, this is going to make a really great story. So you flag those, you edit them, but then you come back to that in 6 months or a year later, and different photos jump out at you. Things that are actually good photos, not things that you are attached to because of the moment, but things that are good pictures just because they're a good picture. And you'll be able to see that later when you're detached emotionally from it and you're just scrolling through looking for the best images in that set. So that's why I flag these and go back and review them at some point in the future. Okay, so that's all there is to it. It was really just a few simple clicks to take everything from my external travel library that I had been working with for 2 weeks and import that into my main working library at home. And if you're like me, this was the first time I'd done it. It didn't take much to figure out, but this is a process that I plan on doing now moving forward. So if you're in the same boat as me where you take a lot of photos when you're away from your home master library and you do need to be able to work on them from the road, this is a great way to do it. That's exactly why I started creating a catalog to work on these photos while I'm out and about, and then I can merge everything that I've done, including all of my edits and all of my flags, anything that I've changed and saved on the photos back into the master library, and it's just as if it was always part of the master library all along. So I hope this has been helpful for some folks. I'll see you later.